Security, lockdown now. We have an unauthorized black female attempting to access executive floors. She claims to be an employee, but she's clearly lying. Get her out before she steals something or worse. Marcus Sterling's voice boomed across the marble lobby of Mitchell Industries, causing every head to turn. What he didn't know was that the security threat he was having arrested owned 51% of everything he could see, and his termination papers were already signed. The pristine lobby of Mitchell Industries gleamed under the morning sun, streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows. At 8:47 a.m., the space buzzed with the usual energy of employees arriving for another day at one of America's most prestigious corporations. The marble floors reflected the hurried footsteps of executives in expensive suits, their conversations echoing off the soaring ceilings. Sophia Johnson, though that wasn't her real name, walked calmly toward the bank of elevators, her employee ID badge hanging from a navy lanyard. At 28, she carried herself with quiet confidence, despite the conservative business suit she'd deliberately chosen to blend in. Her natural hair was pulled back in a professional style, and her makeup was understated yet polished. For 3 weeks, she'd been working as a marketing coordinator under her assumed identity, documenting every slight, every microaggression, every moment of discrimination she encountered. Today was different, though. Today, she needed to access the executive floors for a meeting about the quarterly diversity report, a meeting she'd specifically requested to observe. She was halfway to the elevators when Marcus Sterling's voice cut through the morning chatter like a blade. "Excuse me, you there?" Sophia turned to see the chief financial officer striding toward her, his face already twisted with suspicion. At 52, Marcus carried himself with the arrogance of a man who'd never been challenged, his silver hair perfectly styled and his Armani suit impeccable. Behind him trailed 2 other executives, Sarah Crawford, the VP of Operations, and James Pike, Director of Human Resources. "Yes?" Sophia replied calmly, though her heart rate quickened. "Where do you think you're going?" Marcus demanded, his voice loud enough to draw stares from nearby employees. "To the 35th floor for the 9 a.m. meeting about—" "The 35th floor?" Marcus interrupted, his voice rising with indignation. "That's executive territory. What possible business could someone like you have up there?" The words, someone like you, hung in the air like poison. Conversations around the lobby began to quiet as people sensed the tension building. "I'm attending the Diversity and Inclusion Quarterly Review meeting," Sophia explained, keeping her voice steady. "I'm Sophia Johnson from the marketing department." Marcus's laugh was harsh and mocking. "Marketing department? I know everyone in marketing, sweetheart, and you're definitely not one of them." Sarah Crawford stepped forward, her blonde hair catching the light as she shook her head with exaggerated concern. "Marcus is right. I oversee all department coordination, and there's no way someone like her would be involved in executive-level meetings." "Someone like me?" Sophia asked quietly. "Oh, don't play innocent," James Pike chimed in, his voice dripping with condescension. "We all know what this is about. Some diversity quota nonsense, probably, but executive meetings are for real employees who've earned their place." The lobby was filling with more employees now, the morning rush, bringing in dozens of workers who were beginning to notice the confrontation. Phones started to appear, some recording discreetly, others more openly. Marcus stepped closer to Sophia, close enough that she could smell his expensive cologne mixed with the coffee on his breath. "Let me see that ID badge." Sophia held up her badge, which clearly showed her photo, name, and department. Marcus squinted at it, then shook his head dismissively. "This is obviously fake. The photo doesn't even look like you, probably some stock image you grabbed online. And marketing coordinator? Please, I've never seen you at any company functions, any department meetings, nothing." "That's because you don't attend marketing department meetings," Sophia replied. "And this is my first quarter, so—" "Enough!" Marcus's shout echoed through the lobby, causing everyone within 50 feet to freeze. "I've heard enough lies. Sarah, call security. James, contact HR, and find out who's responsible for this breach." Sophia felt the walls closing in as she realized how far Marcus was willing to take this. Around them, a crowd was forming. Administrative assistants, junior executives, facilities staff, and visitors all watching the spectacle unfold. "Sir, I can provide additional identification," Sophia offered, reaching into her purse. Don't move, Marcus barked, grabbing her wrist. For all we know, you've got weapons in there, or stolen property, or worse. This is exactly the kind of security threat we've been warned about. The physical contact sent a shock through the crowd. Several employees gasped audibly, and the sound of camera phones clicking became more apparent. Marcus, maybe we should, Sarah began, but he cut her off. No, I'm tired of this politically correct nonsense. We have standards at this company, and those standards don't include letting random people wander our halls just because they claim to work here. Sophia pulled her wrist free from his grasp, her voice remaining steady despite the humiliation. Mr. Sterling, I understand your concern, but if you'll just verify with security, lockdown now. Marcus's voice boomed across the entire lobby, causing everyone to stop and stare. We have an unauthorized black female attempting to access executive floors. She claims to be an employee, but she's clearly lying. Get her out before she steals something or worse. The words reverberated off the marble walls like gunshots. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the soft pings of elevator doors and the horrified whispers of onlookers. Sophia stood perfectly still, her dignity intact despite the public humiliation. Her mind flashed to her grandmother's letter, the one she'd read just yesterday. Some people will never see your worth, darling. That's when you know they don't deserve to witness your rise. Security guards appeared from multiple directions, their radios crackling with urgent chatter. The head of security, a large man named Thomas Wade, approached cautiously. Sir, what seems to be the problem? The problem, Marcus declared loudly, ensuring his voice carried to every corner of the lobby, is that this woman is impersonating an employee to gain access to sensitive areas of our building. She's clearly not one of us, and her fake credentials prove she's up to no good. Thomas Wade looked at Sophia's ID badge, then at her face, then back at Marcus. Sir, this badge appears legitimate. It's got the proper encoding and... I don't care what it looks like, Marcus snapped. Use your eyes, man. Does she look like Mitchell Industries executive material to you? The racist implication was crystal clear to everyone present. Several employees looked away in embarrassment, while others pulled out their phones more boldly, sensing they were witnessing something that needed to be documented. Furthermore, Marcus continued, his voice growing more aggressive, I want her searched for stolen property. People like her don't just wander into buildings like this for legitimate reasons. Check the cameras. I guarantee she's been casing our offices. Sophia finally spoke, her voice cutting through the tension with quiet authority. Mr. Sterling, I think you should be very careful about your next words. Is that a threat? Marcus laughed harshly. You're in no position to threaten anyone, sweetheart. You're about to be arrested for trespassing, fraud, and probably theft. And when we're done with you, you'll think twice before trying to scam another respectable company. Respectable, Sophia repeated softly, and something in her tone made several people lean in closer. James Pike stepped forward, emboldened by Marcus's aggression. That's right. This company represents 150 years of American excellence. We've built our reputation on hiring the best and brightest, not on charity cases or diversity experiments. Sarah Crawford nodded vigorously. Exactly. We can't just let anyone claim to work here. Standards matter. The crowd around them had grown to nearly 100 people now. Employees from multiple floors had come down to see what the commotion was about, and the scene was being broadcast live on several social media platforms. Sophia looked around at the faces surrounding her, some hostile, some curious, some horrified by what they were witnessing. She thought about the phone call she'd received yesterday from the law firm handling her grandmother's estate. Tomorrow was the official date. Tomorrow, everything would change. Mr. Sterling, she said quietly, you mentioned this company's 150-year history of excellence. That's right, Marcus replied proudly. And you believe that history should continue? Absolutely, which is why we can't allow infiltrators like you to damage our reputation. Sophia nodded slowly, reaching into her jacket pocket. The security guards tensed, but she moved slowly, deliberately, pulling out a single business card. I think, she said, her voice carrying a new edge of authority, that you should call this number. Ask for Mr. Richardson. Tell him Sophia Mitchell would like to move up tomorrow's meeting to today. Tell him it's urgent." Marcus looked at the card and laughed. "Richardson and Associates? The law firm? You think I'm going to fall for some fake business card?" But James Pike had gone pale. "Marcus," he whispered, "Richardson and Associates handled old Eleanor Mitchell's estate." The name hung in the air like a thunderclap. Eleanor Mitchell, the founder and majority owner of Mitchell Industries, had died 6 months ago, leaving her massive fortune to an unknown heir. "So what?" Marcus snapped, but his voice had lost some of its confidence. Sophia smiled for the first time since the confrontation began. "So everything, Mr. Sterling. You see, you're absolutely right about one thing. Standards do matter, and tomorrow, when I officially inherit my grandmother's company, the first standard I'll be implementing is that executives who create hostile work environments for people like me won't be employed here anymore." The lobby fell into absolute silence. Marcus stared at her, his face cycling through confusion, disbelief, and dawning horror. "That's impossible," he whispered. "Is it?" Sophia asked. "My full name is Sophia Mitchell Johnson. My grandmother, Eleanor Mitchell, left me 51% controlling interest in this company. For the past 3 weeks, I've been working here under an assumed name, documenting exactly how employees like you treat people who don't look like you." She gestured to the crowd of employees, many still recording. "And now, thanks to your performance today, I have everything I need to clean house." Marcus's face went from red to white to green. You can't be... Eleanor's heir was supposed to be... White?" Sophia finished. "Yes, I imagine that's what you all assumed. Unfortunately for you, my grandmother chose character over color when she wrote her will." The security guards looked at each other uncertainly. Thomas Wade stepped forward. "Ma'am, if you're really..." "Mr. Wade," Sophia interrupted, "you'll have confirmation within the hour. But right now, I'd like you to escort Mr. Sterling to his office so he can clean out his desk. His employment here is terminated immediately." "You can't do this," Marcus shouted, but his voice cracked with panic. "I've been here 20 years. I built this company." "No," Sophia said quietly. "You've spent 20 years tearing it down, and that ends today." As security moved to escort Marcus away, Sophia turned to address the crowd that had gathered. "To all the employees watching," she said, her voice carrying clearly through the lobby, "let this be a lesson. At Mitchell Industries, we will treat every person with dignity and respect, regardless of their race, gender, or position. Those who can't meet that standard won't be part of our future." The crowd erupted in murmurs of shock, excitement, and disbelief. As Sophia walked calmly toward the elevators, her phone buzzed with a text from her lawyer. "Ready when you are. The contracts are prepared." Tomorrow was supposed to be the official day, but sometimes, Sophia thought, as the elevator doors closed behind her, justice couldn't wait for schedules. The lobby below continued to buzz with energy as news of the confrontation spread throughout the building. By noon, the video of Marcus Sterling's racist meltdown had gone viral, and Mitchell Industries was trending on social media for all the wrong reasons. But for Sophia Mitchell Johnson, it was exactly the right way to begin her reign as the new owner of her grandmother's empire. Change, she knew, had to start somewhere. And sometimes, it started with showing people exactly who they really were when they thought no one important was watching. The revolution had begun.